She ghosted, vanished without a word. You stayed up wondering what went wrong, scrolling through old messages, replaying every conversation in your mind. And now she's back, acting like nothing ever happened. No apology, no explanation. Just that casual, "Hey stranger," like she didn't disappear when you needed her most. So what do? Do you reply? Do you welcome her like before? Or do you finally show her the version of you that no longer dances for attention? The version that learned silence can be louder than words? Because when she returns as if nothing happened, that's not love knocking again. That's curiosity testing your boundaries, and how you respond now will define the rest of the story. 1. Silence speaks first. She vanished. No goodbye, no closure, just gone. You waited, hoping maybe she'd come back with an apology or at least an explanation. But instead, she returned one day like nothing ever happened. Casual text, simple hey. And the part of you that still misses her wanted to reply. But before you do, pause. Because silence, right now, is your greatest weapon. Silence is not weakness, it's control. It's your way of saying, I saw what you did, and I won't cheapen my peace to explain it. When someone leaves without respect, they expect you to react the same way you used to, emotionally, instantly, trying to fix what they broke. But when you stay quiet, you disrupt that pattern. You stop feeding the energy that once drained you. See, silence is heavy. It forces her to sit with what she did. She'll wonder what you're thinking if you're angry, if you've moved on, or worse, if you've stopped caring. And that's what truly gets to her. Not your words, not your explanations, but your calm distance. Because women can't play games with a man who stopped playing along. You don't owe her a reaction. You don't need to remind her of her absence. She remembers. Trust me. The silence makes her replay every moment she took for granted. It holds up a mirror, and that mirror shows her what she lost. When you don't text back, you're not being rude. You're being real. You're showing that your peace is worth more than small talk. It's a form of emotional discipline and something most people never learn. You're no longer begging for closure or asking why. You already have your answer. Her actions said it all. Your silence doesn't chase, it doesn't explain, it doesn't justify. It simply says, I'm done performing for people who don't respect my presence. Let her sit with that silence. Let it echo louder than anything you could ever say, because in the end, it's not the words that change people. It's the absence of them. Second, don't offer instant access. The moment she texts again, your heart skips a beat. You think, maybe she missed me. Maybe she realized what she lost. But that's where most men fail. They open the door too fast. They give instant access like nothing happened. That right there is how you lose your power. When you let someone walk back into your life without earning it, you teach them that leaving had no consequence. You make your loyalty look cheap. And that's dangerous. Because if she can disappear and still get your attention whenever she feels lonely, she'll never respect you. She'll know she can come and go as she pleases. You have to understand, disappearing was a choice. Ghosting, ignoring, playing cold, all of that was intentional. So her return shouldn't come with instant forgiveness. You can't reward absence with affection. This isn't about holding grudges. It's about setting standards. You're not angry, you're aware. You understand that access to your peace, your time, your attention, those are privileges. They must be earned, not assumed. When she says, let's hang out, you don't rush. You let her feel the distance. You slow everything down. If she truly values you, she'll understand why. If she doesn't, she'll vanish again. And that's your closure right there. Women value what they earn. They take for granted what's freely given. Make her earn back your trust, not through sweet words, but through actions, time, and consistency. Instant access feels good for a moment. It gives you that hit of connection, but it comes with regret later, because the same person who hurt you can't just walk back in like nothing broke. You've changed. You're not the same man who begged for attention. You've learned that love isn't about who comes back. It's about who stays. Third, observe, don't absorb. When she returns, she'll have words ready. Soft ones, emotional ones, ones meant to disarm you. She'll talk about how she missed you, how things got complicated, how she didn't know what she wanted, and it'll sound honest. But that's where you have to be careful. Don't absorb it. Observe it. Absorbing means letting those words crawl under your skin. It means letting her emotions dictate yours again. That's what got you hurt last time. But now you stand still, you watch, you listen, you read the patterns, not the promises. When she talks, don't interrupt, don't argue, just notice. Notice if her actions match her tone. Notice if her effort stays consistent after a few days. Because real change isn't in the apology. It's in the behavior that follows. People who walk away always return with half-truths. They rewrite the story to soften their guilt. They'll say things like, I was scared or I needed space. But if you rush to comfort them, you erase the lesson. You teach them that emotional neglect can be forgiven with excuses. So don't absorb the story. Let her words pass through you like air. You're not being cold, you're being wise. You've learned not to let anyone rent space in your mind for free. Observation gives you power. It lets you see who she really is without the emotional fog. Because when you're calm, patterns become clear. And once you see patterns, you never unsee them. Fourth, control the tempo. She'll try to move fast. She'll text you every day, call you out of nowhere, and act like nothing happened. She wants comfort, not correction. But this time, you set the pace. You don't rush to reply. You don't fall back into the same rhythm. You control the tempo. Because the one who controls the pace controls the connection. Slow it down. Don't meet up too soon. Don't pour your heart out again. Let time do its work. Because time reveals what charm hides. If she's serious, she'll stay consistent even when things move slow. But if she's back just because she's bored or lonely, your silence will frustrate her. And that's good. It shows you the truth. Don't mirror her energy anymore. Move on your own timing. That's what emotionally strong men do. They lead the rhythm. She might say you've changed, and she'll be right. You're not rushing toward connection anymore. You're walking toward clarity. You're protecting your peace first, not her comfort. Control the tempo, because the moment you move slower, she realizes she's not in control anymore. She's no longer calling the emotional shots, and that's when the power shifts. 5. No emotional discounts. Love used to cost you too little. You gave too much too easily. Your time, your attention, your forgiveness. You kept giving full price love to people who paid with effort on discount. Not anymore. When she comes back, you can still be kind, but don't be cheap with your emotions. Compassion doesn't mean access. Care doesn't mean closeness. You're allowed to protect your peace even when your heart still cares. Emotional discounts sound nice. I'll give her another chance, or maybe she's changed. But they destroy self-respect, because if she didn't have to earn your forgiveness, she won't value it. This time your love has requirements. Consistency, effort, accountability. You're not punishing her. You're teaching her how to treat you. You're reminding yourself that you're not easy to lose and you shouldn't be easy to get back. Stop offering emotional sales to people who left when love got hard. Stop shrinking your standards to make someone else comfortable. You're not cold, you're grown. Love is not about who says, I miss you. It's about who shows up every day without disappearing when things get real. 6th, let her face the mirror. When she comes back, she'll expect comfort. Your forgiveness, your softness, your emotional safety. But she doesn't deserve all that yet. Not because you're bitter, but because accountability matters. Let her face the mirror. Let her feel the distance she created. Don't rush in to protect her from the consequences of her choices. She needs to see what happens when someone stops chasing. That mirror, it's not made of anger. It's made of truth. It reflects who she became when she left. And it shows her that the version of you she once knew no longer exists. You're calmer now, sharper, more grounded. You've stopped explaining your worth. And that's exactly what she needs to see. You're not here to fix her guilt or soften her regret. You're here to stand tall in your peace. Let her feel the silence. Let her realize she can't rewrite the past with a text. If she truly values you, she'll face the mirror with honesty. She'll admit where she failed. But if she deflects or avoids, that's your answer. So don't chase clarity. Be clarity. Your silence, your patience, your standards, they'll say everything. Because the real lesson is this: when she comes back like nothing happened, your response will tell her who she's really dealing with now. So when she comes back like nothing happened, don't rush. Don't explain. Don't fall back into the same story you already survived. She left for a reason, and in her absence, you found something she couldn't give you: peace. Now, when she returns, you don't respond from pain. You respond from power. You don't chase closure. You become closure, because she's not testing your love anymore. She's testing your growth. And that's what she needs to see, that you're no longer the man who overtexts, overthinks, or overgives. You've changed the script. You've changed the energy. And that calm silence, that's the sound of self-respect. If she truly regrets losing you, she'll show it with effort, not excuses. If not, let her walk. You've already healed from the version of her that hurt you. So remember this: you don't owe anyone another chance to waste your peace. You don't need to explain the new version of you. And you definitely don't need to go backward just because someone missed the way you love them. Let her feel the mirror. Let your silence speak. Let your energy remind her. The man she left no longer lives here. You've changed. You've leveled up. Now she has to meet you where you are, not where she left you. Because the truth is simple: when she comes back like nothing happened, you don't react, you remember. And then you protect your peace like it's sacred.